We'd like to welcome everybody to another episode of Hannibal's Other Voice. Today, we're going to be dealing in facts, but in a lot of opinion as well. What we're talking about today is maximizing citizen participation in Hannibal's city government. We believe that the citizens of Hannibal are an asset because they have different educational backgrounds, different life experiences, different employment, and a lot of common sense. And the ideas that are presented that the city council may want to consider, if they're filtered through all of those experiences and all of that knowledge and common sense, the result tends to be better. At least that's kind of what we think. And that marshaling the asset that we have in our citizens is a goal that the city government ought to attempt to maximize. The citizen participation in Hannibal's government seems to be diminishing, at least from the standpoint of our city council. At the last program we produced, we talked about the many closed meetings that the city council has and the off-budget cash that they pretend they don't have sometimes. In March, the city council went so far as to adopt a rule that if a citizen wants to make a presentation on the city council's meeting agenda, they have to get the permission in writing of a council member. Now that essentially diminishes the ability for citizens of Hannibal to talk to their city council. And there are a number of people that do, and it should be encouraged. Our opinion is that citizen participation should be maximized, both by the members of the council and other city officials, listening to what citizens have to say, and even to go so far as to perhaps create citizen committees to look into or work on the various city problems that the city council from time to time tries to confront. Now, the second piece of our presentation today is our opinion that the former system of having a 12-member city council should be restored. And we're going to give you some information on why that might be a good idea. Under the 1957 city charter, which was in effect for 40 years, each of Hannibal's 6 wards had 2 council representatives. They were elected for 4-year terms, and those terms were staggered, having a city election every 2 years in odd-numbered years. So if you had a city council member that you just absolutely couldn't get along with or wouldn't listen to you or somehow had it in for you, you had another council representative to go to try to get your problem solved. Now, the elections that we have for city council, and we have 7 council members now, are very confusing to the point where voter participation is far less than what it used to be. For example, in 2024, we elected council representatives from wards 1 and 3. This past April, 2025, we elected council representatives from wards 2 and 4. And next April, in 2026, we will elect the council members from wards 5 and 6. Well, people in Hannibal can't seem to keep track of when the election for their council member comes up, and as a result, voter turnout has been dramatically lower. What would be better, in our opinion, is that go back to having a whole city-wide election every 2 years. Now, there's other advantages, if I may. With 12 members on the council, there were enough council members to have standing and even special committees. In former times, there were at least 5 standing committees, and they were the police board, the fire board, the finance committee, the street committee, and the public works committee. those are all self-explanatory except for the Public Works Committee, which took on jurisdiction over major projects that the city had and was sort of a catch-all for other issues that needed to go through a committee before it arrived at the council floor. The special advantage of that system was each of those committees had a chairperson. And so at least 5 members of the council knew what they were talking about on these 5 different topics. And that chairperson was the one that made the presentation of whatever that committee's recommendation was to the whole council. And so there was more work, there was more thought, and there was more discussion of issues when we had those standing committees. Now, it made it much easier for citizens to have input into the procedure of resolving city problems. The meetings of those committees were noticed, and if there were a special committee, it was noticed as well. And the topics that were going to be on the agenda of the various committees. And all the citizen had to do in order to participate and have his or her say would be to attend the meeting and just raise their hand, because that kind of discussion was welcomed and encouraged by the members of the city council committees. So, in sum, we believe that more citizen participation and more openness and more collaboration on the part of the members of the city council and other officers of the city would be in the best interest of our city in general. We want to thank everyone for their comments. The last program we had was very well viewed. I think we approached 600 in the number of views that we had for that program. And we got feedback, including one fairly lengthy review of the program, which was helpful. So thank you for that, and we hope you continue to do that. Our next presentation, here in the next month or 5 weeks, we look forward to the municipal budget for the forthcoming fiscal year 2025 and 26. That will be in the hands of the council here within a week to 10 days, and we'll have access to it. We'll review it, and we'll discuss it with you. So again, we appreciate your support, and thanks for watching our program.